Hi, my name's John Wright, and I came back this morning for another talk about these here guns and stuff, all this violence and stuff I see in the United States of America. And we're talking about the Donald Trump being put on the ballot down there in Colorado. Donald Trump doesn't need to be on anyone's ballot. Donald Trump is not the president of the United States. Donald Trump lost the election. Donald Trump has done election interference. Donald Trump has actually infringed upon people's rights that are right here at home. Matter of fact, I will say that Donald Trump supporting this law enforcement officers stuff and their coup and stuff that they're trying to do. The law enforcement community is trying to do a coup within them. I don't know how many people within the law enforcement community is engaged in this here activity, but I will say that every law enforcement officer that I have witnessed parked across the street at that fire hall really should respond to laying their guns and their weapons down and giving up their jobs, because they've been here knowingly harassing this here piece of property because of the fact that who I am and what they have done. This is about the President of the United States being involved in the hijacking that happened back in 1971. This here has everything to do with his connection to Richard Millhouse Nixon. This has everything to do with his dad's relationship with the president and his feelings of being the figure that he was in Donald J. Trump's life. The older son wouldn't put up with his dad, and he fucking went on his own way. Well, you know what? Donald Trump learned from his dad. I mean, I even seen Donald Trump's niece explain it, and she seems to be highly educated. But I will say that Donald Trump, they're appeasing Donald Trump. They're giving little Donald Trump what he wants, a little red sucker, to appease him by allowing him to be on the ballots for insurrection. And now I'm going to go back on this guns and stuff about Walmart and these guns and stuff and this insurrection on the Capitol and stuff. These are people that was at the Capitol. They would be in this age group that these people were getting guns and giving little suckers and stuff to appease them and stuff for what their parents didn't want them as children. They were children, that was unwanted, and little Donald Trump's reversed did what? Roe versus Wade, so women can't get rid of a bad date sperm cell. Hey man, we gotta save these sperm cells down. We gotta save these eggs down there in Georgia. Isn't that Georgia too that's causing all this here trouble with this thing with these sperm? Oh boy, god damn it! For all the cum that runs down the woman's leg, maybe we should maybe we should the sperm. Maybe the thing is, which causes life, the egg or the sperm, because you can't have that egg, you can't get fertile without that sperm, so maybe we better protect that sperm. Now I'm the sperm and I've never been protected. See where I'm coming out on this one? See, so I'm the little spuzz out here that they don't like. That they don't want to say, well, this is what happened. Well, this is what happened. You know, when I came from Port Angeles, Washington, all of a sudden my life goes from that cage to I'm in the back seat of a car being taken away from the home that I know. That home that I know had a canopy out back and it had 50 pigeons out back, 50 pigeons like the 50-cent president. And they had me taking me out of that cage and actually catching the pigeons and stuff. And what these people would do is they would catch pigeons. They'd catch these people that would come to me and they'd use me as an attraction to kill them, is what they were actually doing. the little pigeon coopers. Here they have me setting up the traps and stuff, and they're taking the pigeon out and taking it back, and they're putting it in this canopy out back of my dad's house there. You know, when my dad came back from the Zodiac killing, and he came back when my sister had that baby in Port Angeles on January the 3rd, and they passed off my sister's baby as, you know, my mother's child. And my mother was hiding behind my sister Bonnie's child, and they live right here and stuff, by the way. And, you know, I've had threats and stuff right here, you know, like a situation where, what would you do if somebody came over with a baseball bat? I said, well, I said, I'll tell you what. I said, I'll fight you for the baseball bat. I said, let's just go and put it over there, and you come back here. And I said, now, you walk over there and get that baseball bat, and you come back. And I said, and you just started World War III. You know, is that not being threatened by a baseball bat right here on the property? And what is causing this? It's the people that's sitting right across the street. The law enforcement community is leaning on my own family members. Right here, my nephew, I gave him a Corvette. He destroyed the Corvette within 40 days. The Corvette's gone. You know, Geico Insurance was notified about that car, and I was being told that, you know, the car was being tampered with here. I was getting all sorts of stories. You know, how about this one? How about red buckets from Home Depot that's turned my way, that's over here on the property, that says, let's do this? Is that a threat to me? The words are perfectly turned towards me. And I pointed all this out. Matter of fact, how about a garbage can lid that somebody willingly walked over here, set up next to my motorhome, and is shooting with a BB gun? You know, well, I had to tell Ernie about this, and Ernie came and removed it. You know, this is the thing that's going on. Now I purchased this here motorhome from my nephew that destroyed my Corvette. You know, maybe he wants to, you know, patch things up and stuff, you know, and hey, you know what? That Corvette's his. If he wants to destroy that Corvette, all they had to smile at him and say, well, it's your Corvette now. You ruined a good car for nothing. Now, how do you feel today? I mean, and that's the honesty of it. My nephew, he's pretty good size. I guess he'd come over and kick my ass if he don't like what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is the truth. And if they can't face it, I'm sorry, grow up. It's the goddamn truth. I mean, am I embarrassed to say it? No, Kevin, I'm not embarrassed to say it. I'm not embarrassed to say that I've been threatened with a baseball bat. I'm not embarrassed to say that I've stood right here recently within the last 30 days, 45 days, and heard somebody say to me, it's a good day to die, on 2 different occasions. And you know what I say? I just smile and say, yeah, it is a good day to die. What do you like? Do you like that? How do you feel today, America? How do you feel today, America? You know, now I'll go back to these your guns. I'm taken from Port Angeles, Washington in the middle of the night with my brother Jim, and me and my brother Jim's both forced to comply. They murdered somebody in front of me, by the way, in 1975, Terry Lance Shortridge. It has everything to do with Bowling Alley in Morton, Washington. Millhouse, Smokehouse, they renamed it after the President of the United States, Richard Millhouse Nixon. It has everything to do with the Republican Party. People in Morton, Washington are being forced to comply or they die. You know, I came forward and I was talking to Christy Powell from the Morton High School and stuff on emails and stuff, and you know what she said to me? She says, where's Jerry now? You know, Christy Powell was in the same class as Jerry Wright. They were all covering that up, and you know what she said to me about Terry Lance Shortridge? She says, don't be talking about Terry Lance Shortridge. He's a family member of mine. And I said, he was murdered on my bed. That supersedes everything. And I said, what are you guys going to do in Morton, Washington? Are you guys planning on killing these people? You know, and we're talking about the Morton Loggers Jubilee, them having a big crowd of people there, and them blowing up that intersection down there right in Morton, Washington, to cause a problem in the United States so there's a vacuum, so they can cause a war like in... So what? We can have an invasion through the back door of the Pacific Northwest? Well, I was ahead of them, and I got it to the government first. I contacted the governor over here of Washington State. I contacted the Department of L&I because this has everything to do with the Axeman show, that Green Yarder that's up there in Port Angeles, Washington, the Rygards. You know, Gabe Reichard, he got killed out there on the highway out there on Port Angeles, Washington. Kevin Lundy got killed up there too, and so did Bill Bagley, by the way. And all those three people are connected to me in some strange way. Even Gabe is. Why? Because that yarder right there is hooked to Chuck Nakano and their family member was inside of my house when my house was being ransacked and stuff by the cops and the law enforcement community, and they deleted my diary. What were they worried about? Because this diary came on the radar of my mother's, you know. And I tell you the stories that I'm telling you because everybody needs to know the levity of this. When the law enforcement community is involved, here, I'm a victim. I had somebody murdered in front of me, and then they continue to victimize me for 50 years. And my family members have been playing a game with me, and it's involved all the way back to the John F. Kennedy and stuff, and my dad was forced to comply or people would die. You know, I'd like to see all these guns, I'd like to see all these badges that these cops have brought here, right here across from my house. And I'd like them to drop them with their pensions and every goddamn thing they fucking own for harassing me. And my neighbors here, if they ever fucking start harassing me again with stuff, I might just decide to go out there and just catch them. Because if I catch them within so many feet of me legally, I might decide to just goddamn tell them about it. And if they even flinch, I'm going to fuck them up. And my brother Jerry Wright, for him and what he's done to my son, stole our personal property, our baseball bats, our baseballs, our collections of stuff, their properties, because they steal stuff and they collect them and they keep them in their house. That little pigeon cooper up there on the Middle Fork Road. If I ever catch Jerry Wright, I goddamn guarantee it. And I'm going to click out and I'm going to set this up and I'm going to put it out. You know what? Don't support Donald Trump and don't support Walmart anymore. You want good products, go to TEMU. You will get a deal on them. It'll be shipped to your home, and the products are so cheap that, hey, you'll have so much more money to spend in America on the things that you need. And by the way, I don't call the cops to take care of trash like that around me. I post it right here on the internet, and now I have the cops and stuff doing surveillance around here and doing their goddamn job. Welcome to fucking America. We're the taxpayers. You work for us. And by the way, I'm glad you guys don't use your goddamn sirens around my house anymore, where I live. Because I might goddamn decide I'm going to go after you. Why? Because it's my goddamn right as a person. Thank you, America. And I gotta fucking put this up because you know what? I get pissed off. And I am fighting for each and every one of you Americans every day of the week. Whether you are black, white, yellow, or green, I don't give a fuck.